Morning, my friends. Great to see you. Thanks for being here for Capitalism and Coffee. Hey, if you are watching live, do me a favor, say hello in the comments so that I can see who's here and say hello. Good morning, Choi. Good to see you. Good morning, Friday. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Drew. Hey, Roxana. Hey, Susan Anderson. What's up? Hey, Rhino is here. Good morning. What's up, Frank? Hey, Ali. Drew Hitchcock is in the house. Good morning, Justin Jones. Good to see you, my friend. Raul is here in the green room. Hey, if you're a 1% member and you want to come hang out with me in the green room and ask a question when we are done with today's training, go over to Facebook. There's a link in there. Feel free to come hop in here. Raul is out of the green room. We scared him away. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Stefan. Good morning, Tade, who is coming into the green room. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here for Capitalism and Coffee. It is good to see all of you. Hey, Spencer. Okie dokie. So, we have a lot to talk about today. So why don't we go ahead and jump right in. But first, we have something that we do here around these parts at capitalism.com. And we have to do it because the world needs positivity right now. And there's nothing more positive than getting together with capitalists for something that we call the simultaneous sip. We ripped it off from Scott Adams, and we use it here every Thursday on the channel. And all you need to participate is something like a cup or a mug or a glass, a chalice, a stein, a tankard, a thermos, a vessel, a flask, a vessel of any kind. I've got decaf coffee with some nootropics and some cayenne pepper and some cheese. That's an Anchorman reference. All right, join me now for the thing that makes everything better, including vice presidential debates. Those aren't worth saving. So simultaneous sip. Go. Oh, if I had had one of these during the vice presidential debate, it would have almost been worth watching. Hey, did you watch that vice presidential debate last night? No. No, nobody did. I actually tried to watch for about 5 minutes, and I just can't do it. I just can't deal with the negativity anymore. I just can't deal with this type of politics that is dependent on us slinging mud at one another and making the other person an enemy. I was thinking this weekend about how Joe Biden could completely change the debate and the argument. I genuinely don't have a preference between the two people running, but I'm surprised that nobody is stepping up to just take all the noise out of the debate. If Joe Biden were to stand there and simply say, Mr. President, we wish you health, we wish you peace, we wish you healing, we wish you pride in the accomplishments that you made in the last 4 years. We appreciate the steps forward that we have taken as a country. You've set us up to desire a new direction. A direction that is different than what we've done over the last 4 years. Thank you for getting us to this point. We're ready to go in a different direction. If you were to do that, if you were to simply honor the other side, because there's none of that happening right now. It's all mudslinging. It's who can be more offensive than the other person to make the other person look worse. It's just why we have this perception of there always being the lesser of two evils. What if we didn't have to have the lesser of two evils? What if one side was willing to say, nice work, we'll take it from here? Can you imagine how that would completely change the debate? It would suck all of the air of the negativity out of the other side, and it would mean they would win. They would win. Good morning, Amanda. Oh, by the way, I've just taken a rule for my life that I'm only going to see positivity. I'm only going to see good stuff. Sometimes bad stuff happens, and then you reframe it as soon as you can and find the positive out of it. That's just how I'm deciding to live my life, because I just don't have the energy or the interest in focusing on things that don't make my life better, that don't bring more positivity, that don't make me happy. Because I've only got, as far as I know, a limited time on this planet, a limited time in this experience, and I don't want to waste any of it being unhappy. So that's just the way that I have decided to live my life, which is why 5 minutes into the debate, I just couldn't do it. I just could not watch it. All right, let's talk about money. Good morning, Meg. Good morning, everybody who's just joining us for that political rant. Okay, so let's talk about money. So we're doing something really exciting inside of the 1%. The 1% is our community. It's our group of entrepreneurs who are building businesses and investing the profits. Shout out to actually only about a third of you who are watching right now are in the 1%. So, hey guys, thanks for being here. What we're doing inside the 1% is we have mapped out a curriculum that is essentially a year-long curriculum on building businesses and investing the profits. And there's 4 products in there that are designed to lead you through mindset, clarity in business, building audience, and investing for passive income. And those 4 products, we've sold them in the past for over $11,000. We're now organizing them as the curriculum for the 1%. And this quarter, we're going to be going through one of our classes, which is called the Millionaire Class. So for those of you who are in the 1%, what we're going to be going through all quarter is the Millionaire Class. So if you're wondering what content to consume in your members area, that's where you should put your focus. That's what we'll be talking about here on the Thursday coffees, as well as our Sunday community calls when we do those once a month. So that's the curriculum that we're going to be going through for this quarter. And it is all about building wealth, paying fewer taxes, and developing passive income. And we kind of go through the overall methodology. So this week, I'm going to give you my infinite ROI sources. Next week, I'm going to walk you through what I call the wealth triad. The wealth triad is kind of how I structure my investments to expand my lifestyle in a way that is predictable and secure, while also giving me the cash flow that I need to expand my lifestyle and enjoy the things that I want to enjoy. So if you're a member of the 1%, you'll see that in your Facebook group and you'll see emails about it. If you're not a member of the 1%, you can do one of 2 things. You can either join at capitalism.com/1, or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, the one you're watching right now, and that will give you notifications for when we do these walkthroughs. It won't give you access to the curriculum, but you'll see the walkthroughs that we do here on YouTube. So let's go ahead and dive in. Today, I want to talk to you about 3 sources for infinite ROI. Now, I've structured this specifically for those of you who might be at the early stages of your journey. Because at the early stages of your journey, it doesn't make that much sense for you to go invest in real estate. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for you to have a very complex stock investing strategy. Of course, those are good things, and those are things that you should work into your planning stage when you're getting some income coming in. But at those early stages, what we really want are moonshots. We want the ability to have infinite ROI. We're in those early stages. If you double your money, if you double $1,000, if that's what you've got ready to deploy, you're at $2,000. Whoop-de-doo, your life isn't all that much different if that's the case. What we really need to do is shoot for something that is going to set us up to have wealth and cash flow for a really long time. And so I've outlined for you 3 areas for you to focus on that put you in the position for not only infinite ROI, but infinite opportunities. And we can do all 3 of them with $1,000 or less. You in? Cool, let's go ahead and do this. So the first area of infinite ROI is audience or brand. Now, when I say brand, I'm usually talking about a business. That's not what I mean in this context. When I say brand or audience, I mean the framing in which you show up publicly in a way that attracts the best opportunities for you. For example, I want you to just think of a goal for a second. Any goal that you've got. It could be a weight loss goal. It could be a financial goal. It could be a business goal. It could be meeting someone. Any goal that you've got, just let that sink in for a second and process that. That goal that you want, I want you to imagine for a second, right now, if you were meeting people who were already close to your goal, would that allow you to hit that goal faster? We all say, of course we would. If we had a network of people who was opening their Rolodex for us, that would make us move a lot faster. Any goal that we have, if we have the resources, the strategy, the people, the finances for us to get there, it can happen really quickly. Most of us don't have those or don't perceive that we have those things, and so we kind of stay stuck in this area. Here's how we flip it. We flip it by creating a brand, by creating authority around that goal so that we're now attracting the type of relationships and resources that make it easier for us to hit it. So here's a couple examples. to build your own brand, like your personal brand, to attract the right opportunities that help you hit those goals. And we're going to do this with $500 to $1,000. Number one, go pay somebody a couple $100 to go get professional photos done. Professional photos of you, professional headshots, go get 10 to 15 of them done and have them in your arsenal so that when you're on a podcast or you write a blog post or you post on LinkedIn or you run an ad, you've got a professional photo of you. So go spend $300 to go have a professional photo shoot done of you. I mean this, like, even if you're a new college grad, I want you to imagine this for a second. If you're a new college grad, your goal is probably to get a high-paying job. And we're in COVID right now, and jobs are scarce. So what do we do about that? Well, I want you to imagine for a second that you had a series of headshots that made you look good. And then you had one nice write-up about you, the goal you're trying to hit, and your background. And this could be as simple as Joe Schmo is a graduate of Pennsylvania State University, where he studied graphics with a minor in design. Are those majors? I don't even know. However, Joe's real passion is cartoons. Before you laugh, remember that Rick and Morty has made over $30 million in profit in its lifetime. And so Joe has a unique angle for using cartooning to build profitable businesses. All right, I'm just making this up, right? But if you have somebody who does a professional write-up of you, or if you do it yourself, and you combine that with professional looking photos, watch how fast doors can open for you. Most of you discount the unique perspective that you bring to the world that is valuable to other people. We don't put value in our own stories. We tend to value other people's stories. So spend $200 to go hire a writer who will interview you for an hour about your life story and condense it into 3 paragraphs. Now that becomes like your one sheet. Your one sheet when you are branding yourself or shopping yourself. Professional headshots, a brief write-up about who you are and what you're trying to accomplish and where you are in the journey. Now, can you imagine this for a second? That if you've got those two things, if you go now post on LinkedIn and you link over to your website that has a professional photo of you, a brief summary of who you are, with a link to contact you, that's it. And it looks good, you are immediately branded. You are immediately branded as somebody who is moving towards that goal that you've got. So the next thing to spend, $100 to $300 on is one really nice blog theme. And I mean a super simple WordPress theme that's got your headshot on it and that write-up that you did about who you are. So I don't care where you are in your journey. Spend $500 to get nice looking photos, a brief write-up, and put it on a very simple blog. And now here's where we can actually build some authority on this. When you go document your journey and you post on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok or wherever it is that you post content most regularly, and you link over or you have in your bio that simple website with that write-up and that headshot or those few headshots with just a link to contact, that will open up way more opportunities than you can imagine right now. Do you guys follow that? And I don't care if you are looking for jobs or if you are looking for business partners. If you do only that, you are way ahead of where most people are, because most people are not branding themselves at all. That will also build a small audience. So if you're a little bit more advanced, if you're further along in your journey, set up that site and make it an email opt-in instead of a link to contact me. So make it an email opt-in, and now take your $500 that you've got and go blow it on Facebook ads that simply amplify your best posts. Take posts about your journey, spend $500 boosting them, link over to your website, and just let people opt in. That's it. This is infinite ROI. Why is this infinite ROI? Well, we can do it with 500 to $1,000. And if we meet one person who opens the door to a $100,000 a year job, what's the ROI of $500 into $100,000 a year? I don't know. We're just going to call it infinite. The next piece is if you meet somebody who is connected in your space and wants to promote your product, and that gets you in front of other customers, other influencers, do that one time. What's that worth? I don't know. We're just going to call it infinite. So that ROI of meeting the right person who is framed for your journey is the place where most of you should start. Before you complicate this process, whatever goal you've got, write about it, put it on a brief blog, a simple website with a contact me link with professional done photos. You can have all this done next week. That will have an infinite ROI on your life. All right, before I go on to number 2, if you're just joining us, say hi in the comments. Hey, Brian. Good morning. Hey, Valentine. What's up, Donnie? Don, I'm waiting for chocolate to arrive. Do you need my address? What's up, Matt? Good to see you. Hey, CJ. Hey, Amzv. What's up, John? Hey, Laura. What's up, DB? What's up, Lacey? Good to see you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. What's up, Eric? Good to see you. Hey, Lucas. Hey, Mayor. Hey, VRM. Sup? All right, someone says, I need this for my brand. Just do it. You can have it done next week. You can have it done next week. What's up, Jonathan? What's up, Dominic? Hey, Brian. Thanks for being so active in the comments, guys. I appreciate it. Really does make a difference. I feed off your feedback. Okay. Hey, Hannah. Let me pause. Do you guys have any questions about that before I go on to number 2, which is really Don, I think I have to charge you interest on my on chocolate then. I think you might have to throw in an extra quinoa bar in there. Hello, Fairless. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Infinite ROI investment number 2. Relationships. Spend $500 to $1,000. Hold on. I need a moment. I'm going to drop a bomb on you guys. For the 100 of you who are here live, I am going to give you something that will absolutely change your life and business. This is a secret, okay? Not a lot of people know this. When I invest in a company, or when I buy a company, or when I start a company, or when I'm starting anything new, the first thing that I recommend that the person who's running the business do, you ready? Is make a list of 10 people within their sphere of network that would be of benefit in the company. An influencer, an investor, an advisor, 10 people, something like somewhat close to their network. Then go spend $100 to put together an amazing care package for them. Put your product, put a handwritten card, put a video message in there if you want, put a bottle of wine that you saw them tweet about one time. Spend $100 making an amazing care package for them that's custom to them. And so it could be your product, handwritten note, and one cool thing that you know that they're going to like. $100. And go send that out to those 10 people. That's it. I put a budget of $10,000 on this. So 10 people, $1,000 a person, or 100 people, $100 a person. I am totally willing to lose 10 grand to have the potential to get connected with 10 to 100 amazing people, one of which can completely change my life or my business. Like some of you are like saying, how do you connect with influencers? I don't know how you connect with influencers. You do it just like you do any relationship. You give on the front end and you hope that they say yes eventually. And if you do this over 10 people, one of them is probably likely to work with you. How do you meet with affiliates and investors? How do you do all this? You do it just like you would do any relationship. There is a lesson in your members area in a program called The Other Half. I believe it's lesson 3. And in lesson 3, we talk about what I call the success network. The success network is how to meet people and build your network in a way that helps you professionally and in your business. Go through that. I would recommend that you do that. I would recommend everybody do that. But we're taking this one step further. And in an investment standing, if you blow somebody away with a custom gift, they are a friend of yours for life. I'll tell you a quick story. I once went to an event, and I met a bunch of people at this event. And a week after the event, I got this package in the mail, and the package was a signed baseball bat from Carlos Santana. Carlos Santana was one of my favorite baseball players. He plays first base for the Indians, although this is probably his last year. So I get this bat. It's a signed bat. There's no note. There's no return address. Don't know who it's from. No idea. No idea who sent this to me. I post about it on Facebook. I'm like, who sent this to me? This is amazing. A week goes by. I don't hear anything. I have no idea who sent it to me. After a week, somebody reaches out and was like, hey, sorry for the delay. I saw your Facebook post. That was from me. We were both at that event 2 weeks ago, but we didn't meet. And I just, I heard through the grapevine that you were into the Cleveland Indians. They're a client of mine. And I just, wanted to share the love with you. And I was like, who are you? And why aren't you my best friend? The guy's name is John Rulin. And John Rulin runs a company called Giftology. And what John does is he takes people's client lists or contact lists, and he goes and he manages the gifting process to be in front of these individuals. Brilliant business, brilliant man, a great businessman. Not only that, but John has used all of his relationships and his references that he's got from sending gifts for years, and he uses it to get equity in companies. So he'll go into a business and he'll say, hey, great, I know this person and this person and this person and this person. I can bring them in and we can help this business grow by introducing it to these other people. He doesn't go in and operate the business. He just brings in the relationships that he's built from sending gifts to people all over the world for years. That's infinite ROI. It takes one of those businesses to hit for him to become a multi-millionaire because he has equity in the company. Relationships change your life. Relationships make you happy. Relationships open doors. And guess what? Everything that you want is currently in the possession or control of another person. So if you are focused more on the process rather than the people, you're missing 90% of where the upside is. So spend $500 to $1,000 to go send custom packages to those 10 people in your network that could really help grow the business. And do it with people that are 1 degree of separation away from you. You've met them, but you're not close with them. You've talked to them, but you haven't talked in a while. You have a mutual friend. Like those people are 1 degree of separation from you. Go send them things that will rock their world and include your product in it. And depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for investors, if you're looking for advisors, if you are looking for influencers, specialize in whatever it is, that one relationship that you are trying to have. So relationships, treat them like they are long-term rather than what you are asking for, what you're trying to get, and it will be a source of infinite ROI for you. What's up, Mayor? Hey, Chantal. Good to see you. What's up, Archie? The ROI on a box of Cubans is infinite. Sometimes. Number 3. Would anyone like to guess what number 3 is? Raul says, car seats. Yeah, good morning, Ted. Ted is hopping into the green room. By the way, I'm going to take questions after this last one. So if you want to come join me in the green room, I'd be happy to answer your question and hang out with you for a few minutes. Thank you, Chantal. So Chantal says, there's so much on my to-do list now. So remember, these are all simple and cheap. So if we were going to go through the order here, go get professional photos done, go pay a writer to interview you. Both of those things take a couple hours. Go have one really simple blog theme done that is branded to your name, and tie all those things together. It's an infinite source of ROI. You can have that done in a week. Number 2, make a list of people that you want to connect with. Spend $100 a person to go rock their world and include your product in it. You could have that done in 2 weeks. Infinite source of ROI. You have a completely different life in a few weeks if you do these things. All right, number 3, and I'm going to need you to keep a literal open mind on this one. Your number 3 source of infinite ROI is space. Quiet. Quiet time. I was having a conversation with one of my mentors. His name is Ajit Nawalka. He was here at the house. We did a podcast together. If you just look up capitalism.com, Ajit, A-J-I-T, you can listen to that episode. But Ajit and I were talking about boredom. And we were talking about how when you stop working, especially when you're in that mode of grinding all the time, we often enter a period of boredom and we resist that boredom. We resist that not having anything to do. And so we tend to drown it out with Facebook and social media and podcasts and TV and all this stuff that monopolizes our brain. But Ajit said something really wise. He said that boredom is necessary in order to create room for the next great idea to show up. And I did not like that answer. And I asked him to clarify, and he simply said that all great ideas usually come from a moment of inspiration rather than grinding your way through it. Solutions, innovations, new ideas often come on the other side of boredom. So go rake leaves, go wash dishes, go sit and do nothing. Go have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine outside. Now, Trevor Blake, who we just did a podcast interview with, we did a recording inside the Capitalism Incubator. We're going to release that one. We don't often release Capitalism Incubator recordings, but this one was really good. So I talked with Trevor Blake yesterday, 2 days ago, and Trevor has had $300 million exits in 10 years. And the secret to his success is 2-hour hikes in the woods where he doesn't take his phone, he does take his dogs, and he says, that's my most productive time because my brain is no longer trying to fix anything. It's just finding solutions. It's just looking for the positive. There's no negativity going on, and the ideas start to flow. That space is where you will have the greatest ROI, by literally letting your brain do nothing. Have you ever had a problem and then as soon as you stepped away from it, went, oh, there it is? Or you were in the shower and you were like, oh, my keys are there. Or you were on a vacation, you're like, oh, that's a really good idea. And then you come back and you try to force it. Never works that way. Your best ideas and breakthroughs come from quiet time, from space. And if you prioritize that once a day, it could be a 20-minute meditation. It could be an hour walk in the woods. It could be drinking a glass of wine at the end of the day with no screens on. That space is where all action is. It's where all of the positive momentum happens in your brain. So number 1 source of infinite ROI. Oh, actually, before I do that. So spend a few $100 on a couple things. Spend a couple $100 on a really comfortable chair to meditate in. Or spend $100 on a very good bottle of wine. Or spend $100 on a great pair of running shoes and another $100 on the app Waking Up. Waking Up app is my favorite meditation app. It's made by Sam Harris. Waking Up. That's a really good meditation app. So between those For $500, you can have a really good meditation chair, walking shoes, a bottle of wine, and a meditation app. So if you do that, you're putting you in the position of infinite ROI. 3 sources of infinite ROI. Number 1 is your own brand. And we build that with professional done photos, a professional written write-up about you and your journey, and then a simple but professional looking website that ties all of those pieces together. Put a contact me link on there. And then when you're posting on LinkedIn or Facebook or wherever you're documenting your journey, you link back to that site and people can reach out with opportunities for you. That, by the way, if you're looking for a job, is going to get you hired way faster than you putting together an awesome resume. Source of ROI number 2, relationships. Make a list of people that you want to contact and get in touch with, investors, advisors, influencers, and spend $100 a person putting your product in a really nice care package with some other things that you know that they'll like, and watch how fast new opportunities open up for you. And number 3, space, mental space, quiet time. Go get a really comfortable meditation chair. Go buy a meditation app like Waking Up or Headspace. Go get really comfortable walking shoes and walk for an hour a day just to clear your head. If you do that, you'll actually get more time in your day rather than less, because you'll only do the things that really matter, that create that really infinite ROI. All right, so reminder, this is kind of our kickoff in the discussion of wealth, cash flow, and investing. So these are the things that you've got to nail before it really makes sense for you to scale a business or invest into syndications or all the other stuff that we'll talk about over the next coming weeks. If you want more on this, inside of your members area, we're going to be going through the curriculum that is the Millionaire Class. The Millionaire Class is about how rich people invest for passive income and wealth and tax efficiency. And this is a small piece of this. The audience and brand piece are those initial pieces inside of your training. So that's what we'll be going through in your members area for the next several weeks. If you are not a member of the 1% and you're just sitting on the sidelines watching these lives, subscribe to the channel, because we're going live 3 Thursdays a month, give or take, to go through the curriculum that is in the 1%. All right, so I'm now going to go over to the green room where there are some individuals waiting. Raul, I was going to put you on up first, but you just turned off your camera. So if you want to turn your camera on, I'd be happy to bring you on. And that's true for Tade, Mario, and Ted. I can see you in the members area or in the green room, but I can't see your video. So if you want to be brought on live, please turn on your video so that I know that you're ready to come online. All right, Raul, I'm going to bring you on. Good morning, Raul. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You've got 2 kids, and you are driving back from taking them to school. That's my prediction on your day.
I have 3 kids, and I'm driving all the way to work. And I actually drive about an hour 15 to work every day.
Wow.
Or a couple of days
That's
a week.
Commitment.
So, well, you know what, though? I become smarter because I listen to things like what you're talking about, and I'm doing my classes, and I'm inspired to not have to do this one day.
Well, that's great. Well, how can I help?
One of the questions that I asked was you were talking about personal branding. And I'm an educator, and I'm in management. So that aspect has gotten me up in the chain, but I don't want to do this long term. I thought it was awesome that one of your parents is an educator, and it's a great service, but it's a grind, and I want to spend more time with my kids. So with that said, when you're branding yourself, how do you do that separately to that of, like, if you're building a business, you're seeking to create this, are you branding yourself like independently of your business, or are you kind of weaving it in somehow?
You want to brand yourself to whatever it is that you want to grow and amplify. So if you want to be seen as the best educator in your state, you would brand yourself as that. If you're building a business and that's the thing that you want to amplify, then you want to tell the story of the brand that you're building and tell it in the way that you want it to be perceived, not in the way that you sometimes doubt in your brain. Say that you're on a journey of building the #1 kids toy company that is made of all recycled materials. right? So you tell the story how you want it to be rather than how you think it's currently perceived. So that's how you focus in the branding.
Well, and that's one of the areas that I've had to work through, is that my entire kind of reality has been education based, and that's not necessarily the field that I want to pursue. I want to do something different, and for me, it's more of a personal growth kind of thing, identifying strengths, weaknesses, that kind of stuff. So for me, it's identifying how we can support people that have had some of the struggles that I've gone through here in the last few years, and that's more through like the nutrition, foods, that kind of stuff, which has nothing to do with being an educator. So that's kind of what I'm working through now.
So let me just riff with you for a second. What's your last name, Raul?
Olivas, Olivas.
Olivas?
Yes.
And what do you teach, or what is your specialty?
I'm an assistant principal at a middle school, and my specialization in the past has been mathematics.
Okay, great. So what when you talk about nutrition and health, which is where you want to go,
Yeah.
what area of expertise do you bring to the table, or are you interested or compelled in?
Well, one of the things that I identified here in the last couple of years is that I suffer from ADHD, ADD, and it's had a great impact in my ability to focus and that kind of stuff. And I want to share my journey, but the reality is, when it comes to ADD, ADHD, it's something that most people think about in kids, and they don't realize that there's a lot of us who have a hard time staying on track. And so I started thinking about how food impacts your ability to stay on track, and a lot of what you said, makes a difference. So I started asking myself, like, are there things out there that support people like me, or people that have these struggles? And as I've looked, I don't see a whole lot. So I thought, based on my ability to share what I've gone through and how it impacted me, I'd identify a way to get that out to the public, to assist them in this particular area.
Okay, beautiful. Now, Raul, how long have you been in education?
20 plus years.
Okay, cool. So I'm just going to riff on this for a second.
Go for it.
I want you to imagine that you had a website that was very simple, that had a few professional-looking photos of you, and it had a write-up that looked something like this. Raul Olivas spent over 20 years as an educator in mathematics and a vice principal in whatever district you're in.
Yes.
During his time, he saw thousands of kids come and go, many of whom struggled with what we now call attention deficit disorder. However, Raul noticed an interesting trend. Most of those kids grew up to be adults, and they never solved the root problem. And so there are millions of adults in America alone who are silently suffering with ADD. Yet all of the solutions are pharmaceuticals that support kids, not adults. So Raul took his mathematics background and started to say, how could I address this problem in a way that was sustainable across the rest of the world? And he decided to make the very risky decision of leaving a cushy job to spearhead a mission of helping other adults who were never helped as kids to be able to come up with solutions to create better lives for themselves and address the problems that have been keeping them stuck.
That's good.
Right? So,
how do I hire you to do that?
You can watch this recording and you can type that out. But I mean, anyone who is a decent writer could interview you for an hour and put together that one sheet for you. But that was a good start. And so we didn't talk about how amazing your business is. We didn't talk about how much money an investor is going to make by investing in it. We didn't make up any false stories. We simply took your background and combined it with the problem that it is that you're attempting to solve. And if you've got, at the end of that, for speaking inquiries, podcast interviews, or product inquiries, please submit the form below. Now people can reach out to you when they've got a challenge or they've got an opportunity. And if you start talking about ADHD in kids and adults on LinkedIn and Facebook and send them over to that simple website, now you start to introduce potential introductions that could help you start a business or grow a business that's in that field. Did all of that make sense?
It did.
Great. Then
Cool.
that's your
Thank you.
assignment for the week.
All right, I'm on it.
All right. Thanks, Raul. Good to see you.
Thank you.
That was fun. Drew asked, is there going to be homework assignments for the week? And I am going to give you one assignment. I want you to go watch the first module in the Millionaire Class. For bonus points, go watch module 3. I believe it's module 3 inside of the other half, which is all about building your success network. If you watch those two things, it will really prime you for good decisions over the next couple of weeks. Hey, Nelson, thank you for the kind words on the comments about reading my book. I'm very proud of that. So if you feel compelled to leave a review on Amazon, I would appreciate it. Thank you for reading my best piece of content that I have ever done. There was something else I was going to share with you. One other thing that I wanted to assign to you. What was the other thing I was going to assign to you? Read those two things in the million. Oh, if you are just sitting on the sidelines and you're not a member of the 1%, then there's an episode on the podcast that is called Building Your Success Network. It's an old one. It's from several years ago, but it will go through how to start to build connections with people that can help support you on your journeys. That would be a good primer for you. So it's called Building Your Success Network, and you can just search capitalism.com, Building Your Success Network, or Ryan Moran, Building Your Success Network, and you will find it. What else? I think there was something else, but I think we will call it there. Next week, we will be talking about the wealth triad. The wealth triad is how I structure investments to be able to expand my lifestyle in a way that is comfortable, predictable, boosts passive income, and still allows me to pursue the exciting things that I want to buy. So we'll cover that next week. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, please click the link and turn on notifications so that you know when we're going live, which tend to be most Thursdays. Thanks everybody for being here and spending part of your Thursday morning with me, and I'll see you guys next week. See ya.